How to start up a MoIMAP project? Second section. In the first part of this tutorial we saw how to set up the system and how to enter into the operational phase, which now we analyze in detail. We enter into the system by clicking on the upper right, and the app goes to load the bus structure just scanned. Now let's see how to create the associations between Actuator command. We have already connected the My Home Server 1 to a movable router, so it works on the same network where we have connected the mobile device. Entered as an installer with our credentials, we modify one room clicking on its picture. In this example, the room is already populated with various icons associated to different functions. In a new project, that would be empty. By clicking the plus, we can choose to add between different types of graphic objects, a light, a shutters, and many more features. In practice, the hub here is proposing us to populate the kitchen page with icons that will control the actuators that we have installed, so we create a virtual command on the mobile device screen. Remember that the physical commands installed in the kitchen are not yet initialized. In fact, the LEDs blink. We will now use the app to choose what they let them to do. Take the case in which we add a virtual icon of a light on-off. First, choose the actuator and then you associate a command to it. The choice of the object type is used to determine the icon kind to be inserted: on-off, dimmer, colored. Add then an on-off light and the app asks me to pair a device. This first example shows how to choose the device to pair by pressing the button. Just touch the product and the app recognizes it. The device has been identified and I can verify if I have reached the right one, recognizing it by its ID. I choose which channel, otherwise the relay contact that I want to associate with the kitchen light. Be aware that the zero-crossing actuators by default are initialized as such, and therefore they would need the neutral. If the neutral is not present, the actuators will continue to flash as they were not configured correctly. To do so, just click on the pencil icon to go to select the correct setting and get them to stop flashing. Here in the end, we can choose to associate a command to control this light, and the app asks me to touch it in order to recognize the one. I'm going to hit the button that I choose to use to control the kitchen light. As soon as I touch it, the app will recognize it. The command blinks fast for a moment, after that it stops because it has been initialized and then he knows what to do. Because this command has multiple buttons, here we have to choose which one to use. At this point, I could associate a second command or save and move on to another actuator. Now the command is operational and working on both the app and the physical one on the wall. Now let's add a shutter, and this time without touching the actuator. Sometimes it is not easy to physically reach the relay, and it is therefore convenient to identify it among those scanned by the app. At the stage where the app asks to add a device, I choose I cannot press the button. Then I will select the right actuator among those scanned. I recognize it in the list via its ID, and I also have the chance to test it to ensure that it is really the correct one. Confirm that it is the right one, I select it. The app asks you to select the channel or the relay contacts that you want to use. Since this is an actuator with two contacts, they are both occupied and they become interlocked for the shutter. add at the end a local command to control the relay. Remember that you can either select it from the list of those scanned by the app or by physically touching it. It does not matter which of the two command buttons you touch, because it is then through the app that I decide which of the two buttons I prefer to use. Save, and I have concluded. The shutter icon has been inserted at the bottom of the kitchen page. Through the app, we can add other functions: thermostat, control of energy consumption, Nuvo player, and much more. To insert a thermostat, simply choose what it controls and its bus probe address. If you want to control a Nuvo player, just add it as a new graphic object and recognize it by its MAC address. Here the player at the bottom of the page, ready to play music.